everybody, welcome, and it's Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. Stephen Lewis and myself in the studio, and we have got the winner of the 19th annual John Seitz Memorial Race, Cole Schill, coming on the air in just a minute. It's going to be fun. Also, our show brought to you by Grand Forks' best video podcast company. Grand Forks' best source has shows that everyone will enjoy. Not only do we cover local news and special interest stories, we help local charities and go live on location at special events. GFBS has podcasts about dirt track and snowmobile racing. For all you beer lovers out there, check out the Brew Brothers podcast. To keep up to date on city government news, watch Grand Forks City Chatter. Also catch Mixed Culture. Put a fork in it. Icky Ichabod's Weird Wrestling and Weird Cinema. Real estate podcast with Berkshire Hathaway and more. Go to gfbestsource.com to get complete schedules. Grand Forks' original and best video podcast company is Grand Forks' best source, keeping it local for you. Find GFBS on your favorite app. Back, if you have any questions or comments for myself, Stephen Lewis, or our guest, Cole Schill, feel free to call or text. Our number is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. Good morning, everybody texting in. Nick Curtis, yeah, you won again today. All right, here we go. Let's do it, our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go, Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. We'll see what you think about this. I'm going to test this out on Stephen Lewis. Here we go. Running into stationary objects could be painful. Running into stationary objects could be painful, according to a recent poll.
Oh, boy.
Okay, how about this one? What do you call a German breaking wind? What do you call a German breaking wind?
I feel like this is going to be a Liebrick.
A Frankfurter.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
There we go. All right, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
Good. I tell you what, folks, we're going to do something a little bit different today before we bring Cole Schill, our guest, on. He's actually Zoomed. He's down in Fergus Falls. He is there. But we're going to do something we've never done before. You all heard about Charlie Kirk's assassination yesterday. Horrible, horrible thing. And also today now, the 24th anniversary of 9/11, where 2,977 innocent people lost their lives. What we would like to do right now is just have a moment of silence for all of them. Well, that wasn't so bad. I haven't done that before. All right, here we go. Let's do it quickly. Forks Karting Association track schedule. Our racetrack schedule brought to you by Forks Karting Association. Watch the karts race Wednesday nights at Forks Karting Speedway at the Grand Forks Fairgrounds. Find out more by going to forkskartingassociation.com. Basically, all that's going on, of course, we've got here at River City Speedway tomorrow night, all sprint car night. Looking forward to that. Northern Outlaw Sprints, the Lightning Sprints, the Western Renegade Wingless Sprints, and I'm guessing the Lightning Sprints.
The Superior Customs.
Oh, the 305s.
Red River Sprint Series.
Okay, we got the Lightning. Yeah, okay.
Top three separated by 8 points now.
Oh, so this could
right
be
down to the wire.
Right down to the wire.
Yep.
Also, what have we got going on here? There in Fergus Falls, the Wissota 100 started a couple nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
Still goes tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. Matt Scow, I see, won last night, so he has punched his ticket to the pole for the championship feature. Also, the news, you were there last night. You didn't see it, but a track official taken to the hospital after what Wissota Auto Racing described as an incident with a race car Wednesday night in Fergus Falls. I did talk to somebody that was there. One of their longtime track officials pulled out onto the track, didn't realize there was a car that was back quite a ways. I believe it was a very young racer, new to the sport, and oh boy, it's just horrible. But they ended up hitting. He hit the guy in the four-wheeler. Not good, but we will keep you updated on that. What else?
I want to extend my thoughts and to the entire I-94 family. I thought that was a very special effort by all of them to regroup and keep doing what they all normally do on a race night when they probably, quite honestly, didn't probably want to. The last thing, I've been there before, you know, the last thing you want to be is to be at a racetrack when something terrible like that happens. So I thought they did a terrific job, and just thinking about them, because I was watching them, all of them, the rest of the night, and know it was really hard for them. So.
And again, yes, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody at I-94 Speedway here from Dirty Thursday. Also, speaking of Forks Karting Association, got the big North Dakota State Karting Championship is this Saturday at Forks Karting Speedway. Starts at 10 o'clock. Pits open at 7:30. I believe they're going to do 2 shows. It'll be like 2 full shows.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and folks, if you've never been and watched the karts at Forks Karting Association, go check it out this Saturday. It's going to be a great time. I was planning on being there, but I've got to be in a wedding instead. So here we go. And should we reel them up here?
Yes.
You know, we kind of started off the show here with a bummer there, Cole Schill, but we're going to pick things up now, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You?
We're doing good. The Busch Light's cold, so that's a plus.
And the coffee's hot.
And the coffee's hot. There you go. I guess let's get it out of the way. Congratulations, winner of the 19th annual John Seitz Memorial. Can you hear the applause there, Mr. Schill?
I cannot, but I can hear it in my head.
Okay. Congrats on the big win, first off. And
Thank you.
Where are you right now?
I am sitting in my motorhome working at the Wazota 100.
Okay. And when you say working, what are you working on besides hanging out with Stephen Lewis and myself?
So I actually run a business. We dispatch trucks. So I'm actually currently getting the guys routed for tomorrow and working.
So do you normally are you able to work at home, or do you normally have an office that you go to, or how does that work?
Yep. So we have an office at home. Me and the wife, we run a dispatch company, and so if I got to go on the road, as long as I got internet, I can pretty much run it about anywhere. So
wow, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes it pretty nice. Like if we take the trip to Arizona and stuff like that, I can work with internet and do my job. We can both do our job on the road if we need to. So.
All right. Speaking of when you mentioned we both, tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't want to know anything about racing yet, Cole. I want to know about you, the family, what you got, kids, dogs, wives, cats, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So me and my wife Erica, we've been married since 2016. So what are we going on 9? Was it 9 years now?
That's
We've
why
been together.
I have the dates of my wedding inside my wedding ring, Cole.
Yeah. Well, I know the date. I just lost track of the year, right?
Oh, I hear you.
So we've been married 9, been together for 15 since 2011. I got 2 kids, Case and Ellie. They're 5 and 7, or 7 and 5. Case and 7, Ellie's 5. And I got 3 cats at home. So
you do have 3 cats.
I do, yeah. It's a wife's choice. We used to have a couple dogs. When my dad passed away, we built a house out by my mother, and the dogs pretty much went there and never came home. So
I see. So now I asked you this before we got on air. You're not a whole big time party animal, but come on, man, you won the 19th annual John Seitz Memorial. It had to have been fun. I know there was a billion people waiting to talk to you, to congratulate you. How did the rest of your night go after winning that huge race?
Well, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's surreal, right? So we get done, they scaled the car before we went to victory lane. Then afterwards, you have to do all the tech stuff. So that was probably an hour. They pulled carburetor and header. Check some other stuff or whatever, and then by the time we're all done with that, and you get back to your pit, you're just kind of like taking it in, right? You're visiting, and races were still going on, so you couldn't necessarily crack a cold one at that point.
Oh, sure.
But other than the PBR that I already chugged, and so we're just pretty much just visiting, just taking it in, like we're just, it's a surreal moment. You just don't even like trying to comprehend what actually just happened is kind of what's going on,
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, and then the endless people coming up, and pretty much the rest of the night was like that. I had a drink or two, and we just visited. I mean, really, we didn't party, but we just talked with friends and family, and just kind of enjoyed that the rest of the night until the people quit coming.
Man, that is nuts. I never thought about that though. when they moved that race ahead, I never thought, okay, you know, the winner is going to be able to enjoy a drink down there because you can't have any booze in the pits until the last car comes in.
Never occurred to me.
So, boy, I never thought about that. It says the network bandwidth is low. That's why his screen is little. Robin says, so awesome to see Cole and his family. Good luck at the 100. Jeff Cornell's good morning from southern Minnesota. That is Chewy. Good morning, all. Nick Curtis, first one to call again. If you want to text or call us, you got anything to say to Cole, 701-213-0863. Now, Cole, and jump in anytime you want there, Stephen Lewis, but I want to know, how did you get your start in racing? What did you start racing with? Has it always been a late model? I mean, I know the Schill family is, it's not a new name to racing, but how did you get your start?
So I started go-karts when I was 8, and I raced those until I was 14. And then, that we were talking about starting in a B mod, right? And at that time, like, we really didn't have any money. Like, we were a pretty poor family. You know, Dad had the race car. He had built up from when he was a general manager at one time. So he did a pretty steady job where he could afford to, at that time, buy a car and stuff. And then, when I started it, we contemplated the B mod deal, but the amount of money it was going to cost to do it was going to be way more than what we could afford. So we found a cheap car that Todd Schutzen had. It was sitting in his back Quonset, and Dad had a second motor, and that's really what honestly, it was about money at that point, and just what it cost to put it together, and Dad had all the resources to put a second car together, and that's what we did.
How long did it take for you to get comfortable in that car and, start making it into victory lanes around here?
Well, I didn't win my first race till 2013. So it was, I started in 2010. So about 3 years it took but that was a couple cars later and a little jockeying around and stuff like that. So I rolled the very first car I toasted that one. And then we found a cheap car for like $500.
Wow.
And it was just a frame, and we threw all our parts on it, and we really just didn't really have much at all, right? So but then we got a little better car in 2013, and we ran more consistent. I wouldn't say I was a winner, right? But I won one and top 10s, right? That's kind of where we were rolling at that point. So but
and a lot of these people that get into racing, they're thinking right away, I'm going to put together a car. No, I have no experience doing this stuff, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to win me a race. That's my goal. I'm going to go win a couple of races this year. I'm going to finish in top 5 in points, whatever. You got to be realistic. I know guys, we've been seeing people, they're sprint car drivers that have been doing this for a while, and it's damn hard to get a win. With the late models and the sprint car, with any of these classes, it's awfully hard to get a win. And Cole, do you think a lot of people are being unrealistic? Because you might get lucky once in a while and win a race your first year or two. Doesn't happen very often. But do you think a lot of people are unrealistic about being new to the sport? And then what are your thoughts on people getting down? It took 3 years for you to get a win. It takes a lot longer for other people. But what do you say to people that have been so close? Because we've all seen it a million times. You think these people are going to win their first race, then something happens and they don't. But what do you tell people when especially the up-and-comers that have been, plugging away for a couple of years trying to get that first win and they can't get it? What do you tell these guys and girls?
Winning's hard in racing. Realistically, like we don't win a lot, right? We're maybe a couple wins a year, and for the ones that they're trying to get that first one, it's not easy, and that's every division, like you said, and it's worse now than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and the grind is there. We're consistently happy with running in the top 5. That's kind of where we're at, right? Top 5s, we're happy with that, and you plug a win off here and there, it's awesome, but to try to get your first one in a very competitive racing scene is, I just say just keep on playing. They will come. You're going to get better, and eventually you're going to catch that break. And once you get one, maybe you get two, right? So.
Right. And if you hang around the top 5, and this is what I tell a lot of these newer people, if you're in the position to win a race, you're going to get that chance one of these times, because we all know everything from luck to weather to stepping on your you-know-what. It all makes a difference, and it all only takes a second. But as long as you're up, like you say, in that top 5, right up there towards the front, you're always going to have that opportunity, and that's going to make it a little bit easier for you to win, right?
Yeah, for sure. If you're consistent, you'll find your way to victory lane, sometimes. I mean, yeah, the biggest thing is people give up too easy when they don't see the results that they think they want, and sometimes it's just about continue the grind. I mean, racing's a grind. You're at it for 4 or 5 months a year and continuously on top of it to try to make yourself better. It's not an easy sport.
Now, so you have been running a late model for forever, since you started racing the big cars. Do you have something to do with the NLRA board then too?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Don't be modest now.
No, well, that's it. We haven't talked that much in my career being around racing around here, but I lean a lot on my neighbor, Robin Fennell, and so I went over there and I picked her brain today a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, so what's Cole like? And he goes, well, she says, hasn't he been on your show? And I said, well, yeah, but I still want to know what he's like. I heard nothing but good things about you. And then I saw you for the first time, I think that we really talked was probably at the banquet. But how do you feel about being involved with that kind of stuff? Because everybody's got their damn opinion all the time about racing. You got the he should, they should, you shouldn't, or do this or that. Well, then, you know what? Do something about it. Get on a board, make your voice heard. But I hear you do a very good job with these guys. But how is that for you to be with the guys that are, helping make the calls for this sport and for the NLRA?
Brad's helped me a lot, right? He was a president for a long time, probably 14 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like 14, 15. I don't even know the number, but it was a while. I mean, pretty much since I started to when I took it over, which was pretty much this year, or I shouldn't say took it over, but became the president.
Mm-hmm.
He's helped a lot, right? Kind of made my view a little different too, which has helped. But to be, my biggest thing was just trying to get in there and help as much as I can and try to make things go smooth as much as I can and try to just make it better for racing. Brad did a really good job and just kind of take it from there and maybe make a couple adjustments here and there or however we got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty about the NLRA club is everything is driver driven. So
yeah.
Like if there's a rule change, it's brought up to the members and we cast a vote, right? So like the biggest thing is just everybody being on the same page and knowing exactly what we're doing and make that decision as a club. And really that just makes my job easier then. So
yeah, and you talk about making your job easier, Cole. How important is it to have those other board members with you that you guys can talk about? Because I think for the most part, you guys are on the same page, but you're always going to get that one person that says, well, how come we don't do this? And everybody just wants to go, man, you're a dumbass. But nobody, nobody does. But how important is it to have these other board members with you to make some of these big decisions?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, with Brad and Kaylin and Robin, we pretty decent group as far as what we're doing. And, as far, you're going to have that. You're not going to make everybody happy.
No, of course not.
Life, right. So, you try to make your best decision going forward and you talk with all the members to try to make that decision, for everybody. So, but as far as the rest, our officers, me, Brad, Robin, and Kaylin, it's great, and then, you get Steven mixed in there a little bit, helping out with lineups and stuff. And Kaylin does all, when he comes, which is about 90% of the time, he does all our lineup stuff, which is a huge weight lifted off like my shoulders, right?
Mm-hmm,
so,
mm-hmm.
It definitely helps when those two are there, makes everything a lot smoother. So.
Now, will you continue this capacity as president of the NLRA board as long as you can, or is this like one of those things, Cole, where you go, nah, I've had enough of this political crap. I want out of here?
Yeah, it's not too political. I mean, you try to keep the politics out of it, but obviously there's some of that anyways. But when I raised my hand, to be voted in, I kind of knew that's what it was going to be, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of agreed to the 4 years, and we'll kind of see how we are after that, right? So, big thing for me, like the reason I even wanted, my dad was a president for 8 years, back 2000, I believe 2002, or I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
3 to 2010. And that was my biggest thing is like what he did, just to kind of follow a little bit in his and Brad's footsteps as far as just continuously run a good ship. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do.
That's funny you said that, Cole, because I just got a text from Robin saying, Cole, you're doing a great job. It for sure reminds me of working with your dad on the board. So that tells you something right there, man. That tells you something. I tell you what, Cole, we're going to send you a new invite. We're about out of time here, okay? So just give us a couple of minutes. I got a lot more to talk about. Stephen Lewis and I will be back in just a minute with Cole Schill, the number 44 NLRA late model winner of the 19th annual John Seitz Memorial. We'll be back with him after this. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done right now. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Most changes are done in about 15 minutes. Valvoline Instant Oil Change does more too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, and batteries. And included in your oil change, they're going to top off your fluids. Check your tires, battery, lights, wipers, and cabin air filter too. And you get discounts for fleets and the military. They can text and email invoices and coupons and mention Grand Forks Best Source and get $10 off your oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're open Monday through Saturday with no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery is also available if you live in Grand Forks. And Valvoline Instant Oil Change is now hiring. If you'd like to join their team as an assistant manager, customer service rep, or lube tech, stop in to find out more. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street, or call them 701-780-8462. And make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. Here we are, folks. Dirty Thursday brought to you by River City Speedway. Again, worth a round of applause. The 19th annual John Seitz Memorial Winner, Cole Schill, in the studio. Cole, I don't know if you heard the news. Next year, the 20th anniversary. Stephen Lewis will talk about this for a minute. It's not even on my notes, but okay, let me think now. From what I have heard, from what Chris Steppen said, next year the winner will get $9,292. Second place will be worth $9,200. Third place will be $9,200. And the other three support classes are all going to get paid more money too. We're going to have 9,000 cars at this event next year. But Cole and Stephen Lewis, what do you guys think about this, especially for the 20th anniversary? I mean, this is freaking awesome stuff.
Well, to see a memorial race make it to 20 years is one thing. And then another thing like that, just to see, just when you think it's just like, there's no way you can find more money for that. And then it's just like, wow. Like, so top three getting 9,200 and everyone else is getting a little bit too. It's pretty impressive.
It's funny because I got a message when I was up calling the races, and they said, hey, this is whoever, I want to donate $5,000 to the winner next year. And so I passed that down the line, and then pretty soon the next day I hear that they've jacked all the purses up. But Cole, what do you think about something like that? I mean, the John Seitz has already been on a lot of late model racers maps. Especially around the Midwest. We've lost a couple of guys over the years because of sponsorships and things like that. But this is going to drag in, I would think, a buttload more cars. But what do you think about upping the purse like that? They're going to have to figure out, I'm guessing, some pit stuff because we're running out of room. That's you're thinking almost $30,000 for the top three spots. That's a pretty hefty payday, isn't it?
It's pretty amazing, It's amazing what them guys do between Chris, Brad, and everybody at RCS. They do a great job at that event, and to get that kind of money, is pretty incredible. Just for us to race, all three guys are going to walk out with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not to mention everybody else. and it's just incredible what they can do, to put kind of that money, put together that kind of money for us. So.
That is nice. Dan Wisco, of course, announcer of a Greenbush Race Park, says not many better than their car when their car is on than the 44. Always a treat to watch Cole in heavy traffic. Had a great run up through the pack at Greenbush a year or two ago. Keep up the good work, Team 44. Gary Helen, morning, John and Steven. Great show. Gary, I thought we were going to see you this past weekend. He's up doing football games and stuff up north now. But
so to piggyback off of the watching the promotion of the sites or whatever, how much help has it been for you now having the Howie down in Fargo?
Yeah, it's been huge. You kind of see what they do and you try to translate that to what we do. The big thing for like Dad's race, a lot of it is friends and family that donate money to it, and that's kind of where we get the extra money to put forth on it, and we just try to make it bigger and better every year. So, but it's definitely helped seeing what they do and try to help what we can do.
I'm looking at MRP stats, Cole. Let's see. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. 46 features this year, 2 wins, 23 top 5s, 32 top 10s. The first win of the year, River City Speedway this year, happens to be the John Seitz Memorial. Now, only 2... That to me is crazy. Normally, when somebody wins the sites, it's their half dozen, if not more, wins on the year. I mean, you look at guys like Dustin Strand with how many wins this
Dustin
year.
And TPO
Tyler
did.
Peterson,
There's a lot of people with goose eggs that back in the day wouldn't have a goose egg there.
Exactly.
So.
Now, is this, I would imagine, your biggest win of your career?
Oh, for sure. This kind of win is probably the biggest for most guys' career, no matter what the accolade is, right? They're accolades. So it's one of them events that everybody comes to and they know the prestigious of it. And to win something like that is absolutely, you take the Wazota 100, it's below it. Stampede. I got 2 Stampede wins in Jamestown. It's below it. It's just what it is. And people know it. It's just such an awesome event and definitely ranks the highest around here.
Well, I want to ask you this then. You had mentioned earlier in the interview that you strive to be a top 5 driver because, that puts you in position to win these things. Now, you've got 23 top 5s this year. How would you, if you were to give yourself, Cole, a grade this year, A, B, C, F, whatever, what would you give yourself?
We're probably a B+ team. Most of the time, B+, A-, somewhere in there, obviously, like, everybody wants to win, but like, we're very, I shouldn't say we're very content, but we are very content with finishing in the top 5 every night. We know we're racing good, right? And we're putting a little money in the bank. And that just helps us keep going. So I don't like tearing up stuff. I like to keep my stuff clean, and as long as I'm doing that and running in the top 5, I'm pretty happy with it.
I would give myself at least an A-, okay, just to make you happier. But
and then with consistency like that, how many times have you won the Fergus deal overall?
I got 4 championships there.
Wow.
Yeah. Does that include this year or?
No, I ended up second. I broke a dry shaft the second to last night, and that kind of kicked my butt on the chance there. So. But that's just the way racing goes, right? You win some, you lose some, and happy for Travis Sauer who won the points there. So
what? 8th and 11th so far tonight or this weekend at Fergus or this week. But are you still just like, you know what? I got 11th, but still won the John Seitz. that would be tickling my behind forever, man.
I'm still riding on the high.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I want to talk a little bit about that 92 lapper. It's, to be honest, you would think the guy calling the race is going to pay more attention, but it gets hard.
It's tough.
There's so many cars out there, and they're lapping traffic in no time at all. And if you take your eyes off, like you'll see people, did you see that? And you take your eyes off the leaders, and then it's like, oh hell, where was I? And you can't find the leaders, so then you just go to your timing, live timing, to try to figure out where they are. But
so I call it getting vortex. After the fuel stop, we went what did we 30 in a row there or whatever. and it was still pretty juiced up at that point, and they were rolling around there so quick. It usually happens in the sprints more than any other class, but you got to look down at your feet and just because you start getting dizzy.
Yeah, if you're in the infield, for sure.
If you're just doing this again and again and again. So,
I couldn't imagine being in the infield trying to go around in circles in there, like.
Yeah, that's probably why your neck is sore.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's part of it for sure.
Now, I want to ask you, Cole, that race, for me, I mean, my voice is all up and down, and I'm crazy. I'm more worried about being a local guy winning, I think, than anything, and that's what I strive for. But kind of talk a little bit about the 92 lapper. I mean, there was a lot of crap going on that race. I mean, the one TPO, the 71, we're going at it, and then it comes down to where it looks like it's going to be you and one other car. And then we get that caution, and you know what I'm talking about. What was going through your brain when you got pushed off into turn one, off the bank?
I just was glad I didn't tip over, right? I mean, you're going backwards off of corner one, and I've seen a lot of guys roll off in the corners. So just got lucky that I went straight back down the banking instead of sideways on it, and as far as what happened with me and Tyler, we're just hard racing, right?
Mm-hmm,
I mean, he's going for the win, I'm going for the win. We're just racing hard, and I haven't necessarily sat down and we haven't really talked about it or whatever, but I mean, I don't know if he misjudged the timing of it or what happened, I mean, obviously, I know I was making my car wide. That's just what I was doing.
Well, yeah, I was even saying that up there.
That.
Said you were making it as wide as a bus, I think is what I said.
Yeah, I mean, you're going for a big event, and it's prestigious and a lot of money, and I was doing what I could to just keep guys behind me, right? So, but as far as what happened with me and Tyler, it's just hard racing at the end of the day, and I know he didn't mean to dump me over, and it's just kind of what it is, you kind of, I hate it for him, right? Because he's been the car to beat realistically the last 3 years, and honestly, he was probably faster than we were on Saturday. It just he's had some bad circumstances, and he was trying pretty hard. So it's just what it is.
So when you went off backwards, it looked like you were trying hard to keep it straight. Like you knew you were going off, but I was like, if I go off backwards straight, I might be all right.
Yeah, when I got kicked around, I was all locked up on brakes and I tried to keep my wheel straight, so by God, it just went off straight, and luckily I didn't dig in anywhere, and the car kind of like it was kind of weird because it launched up and it came back down like a dirt bike on the other side of a hill. I just kind of rolled with the banking and luckily didn't hurt anything for the rest of that race. So.
Cole, I don't know you good enough, but I figured out how nice of a guy you are. Talking about this especially, a couple of questions here. One, did you feel him hit you? And two, if that caution wouldn't have went the way it was and you got, bumped, you say you didn't mean to do it, but you're sitting down off of turn one and the caution comes out. And what would you have been thinking if they would have put you at the back of the pack? I just want to know, would you still be as nice talking about this as you are now?
I mean, so did I feel him? Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty good hit. And, maybe it didn't look like it. Maybe it did. I don't know. It depends on who you ask. But, I mean, it definitely was a good bump. It spun me pretty darn quick. And so to answer that one, yeah, I feel pretty good. And then, if it wouldn't have went my way, obviously I'd have been upset about it. Probably anybody would be, right? And obviously, and he was upset it went, didn't go for him either. So as far as that goes, yeah, I've been upset. But at the end of the day, you kind of, back in the day, my dad raced in Watertown a lot, and he got in a wreck, and he was kind of a hothead when he raced, right? And he went up to the owner of the track. I think his name was Earl at the time. And Earl goes, at the end of the day, 50% are for you and 50% are against you. And I've lived by that. we've gotten crappy calls in the day, and we've had them go for us too.
Sure.
So at that point, it's just, yeah, obviously maybe I've been a little more salty about it, just like anybody would, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And you kind of chalk it up for what it is and move on, So
do you ever get mad?
yeah, I've
As he
known a
smiles.
steering wheel on my
Not
deck
very
once or twice,
often.
so.
I will say, not very often.
No, I'm pretty level-headed. I mean, we all get mad. If we
Sure.
didn't get
Oh,
mad
yeah.
in the sport, we wouldn't be competitive. Like we all want the drive to run good,
Mhm.
obviously, and obviously, like you're gonna be mad, and I probably would have been mad if I roles reversed. But there comes a point in time, where you kind of learn that the outcome of it is bigger than what the outcome of life is bigger than what is going on in that instant. And like I got two little kids and they're watching me all the time, so like if I'm sitting there throwing a steering wheel or pissed off or acting like a jackwagon, they're gonna see that. And that's something that I pride myself in more than anything else, is making sure that they don't need to see stuff like that, from their dad.
That's
They,
that's well said.
It's very nice.
You don't hear that from a lot of guys. See, I could never do that. Hell, I'd be still pissed.
And to have the presence of mind to say Jack Wagon
Yeah,
on air instead of something else. So.
He's just too politically damn correct, I tell you. Kenneth says, morning, guys. Just joining now, watching Jerry Bird fish off the dock. John, you going to hitch a ride down with Steven Saturday? I would absolutely love to, but I'm officiating a wedding. Jackson Middleton and his fiancee getting married on Saturday. Of course, we know him from the racetrack.
Yep.
So I've got to officiate that wedding on Saturday, but I would love to. In fact, we had our practice last night, went over everything. So hopefully it's going to be a good time. It will be. It's going to be a great time. When you look at these two kids and you talk to them and see how they care for each other, between my wife and myself, she writes up most of the stuff, and I just go up in there and do it. But it's actually an honor for us, so I'd love to go, but we got to do that. Now, Cole, before we let you go here, a couple of more questions. We talked a little bit about Arizona in the spring. I don't know if you try to get out there every year, but how does that relate to racing around here, up at the local tracks here? Are they completely different? Is it close, or is it more? Because I know I've talked to guys over the years, they're there more for a family, little vacation, and we'll drag the race car with and show up at a few tracks. But how is that, and how, if it does it help you to prepare for the season up here?
Yeah, I don't know. As far as like for us, like we go down there for like little vacation, and then we bring the race car, right? You're spot on with that.
Yep.
We get some sponsor to pitch in some money for diesel to get down there and back, and a couple tires or whatever, and and then racing, if we run halfway decent, then we can pay for our way to get home. So it kind of acts like a little vacation, right? And then, as you know, now I can work on the road. So like, we can go down there and still do our jobs. We don't have to take off work, and not that we could, but
Right.
we don't get to take off work. So like, it's awesome for us because we can go down as a family. We can work during the day. In the afternoon, we can take the kids to the park or to whatever. And honestly, that's really what it's more of.
Sure.
For us.
Sure.
Like we're not necessarily down there to race. We're down there to spend time as a family, and then racing is just extra, So, but yeah, as far as it helping up here, the track we race on is pretty quick. I mean, it's pretty fast. It's big. Nothing like it translate to what we do around here, but it definitely keeps the rust off the elbows. Let's
Sure.
put it that way. So,
He's too good. It's like he's worked with a PR guy or something before. A couple of texts coming in. Travis Strandell, I called it on Thursday that Cole Schill was going to win the Seitz. Congrats, 44, and good luck at the 100. Dan Wisco, random question. Is there any story behind choosing the number 44? Good question.
Good question. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, most people know my dad was 4-star, right? And when I started racing, he's like, you got to have your own number. And I'm like, okay. Well, I'll be 44 then. And then I rode 44 until he passed away. And then we added the star to it.
Wow.
So that's where we come up with the number. Yeah, 44 star.
So do you think of him every time you're standing in victory lane?
I think of him every day.
Yeah.
There's not an hour that goes by that I don't think about that man and how proud he would be whether we were winning or not. How proud he'd be just the kids and the family and everything like that. That's something I think about all the time as far as my father, because he was such a great man and my role model. So I just miss him every day, every hour, every minute. So.
Do you think? Well, that was the first thing you did when you got out of the car. You tapped the roof and pointed up or whatever. And those of us that have been around long enough knew exactly what was going on there, and probably got all of us a little bit, bit worked up too. So,
not many people. I mean, if you look close enough, you'll know. But I got a big picture of him on the roof of the car. So when I came out of that car, he was riding with me that whole time, and I just had to thank him for that.
When you have an influence in your life, someone to look up to, like you did, obviously, Cole, is that something you now as a father, when you think about raising your own kids, is this something like, well, this is what my dad would do. This is how I learned things. This is how I am what I am. And this is what I want to hand down to my kids. But do you kind of model yourself as a dad after your father?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things he did that I didn't know I was going to need at the time. You just figure you have a lot more time than what you had, and obviously we all know that time is the essence, and it can go, you lose it tomorrow, right? So there's a lot of things that I learned from him that I didn't know I was going to need so soon. And I cherish everything he gave me to be a good dad, a good husband, a father, a friend. There's so many things that I learned from him that I wouldn't have learned anywhere else. So,
man, you guys got all the answers for everything. You got all the best answers too. Okay, so you're talking probably the rest of the year here. Of course, the Stampede, Ashland, Ogilvie, Fergus, Ogilvie for the topless. You still, when all the other racetracks here are starting to close up for the year, you, Cole Schill, have still got a pretty busy season coming up, don't you?
Yeah, she's going to be pretty busy till the end. Like I said, the winters are long, and if we can race as late as we can, we will. And as long as I got a car and a motor under, in hand, you might as well just keep racing, and shorten that winter up as much as I can. So
during the times when you're not racing in the winter, I used to be a winter guy, but I was a snowmobile racer and a hockey player. What do you do then? What does Cole Schill and his family do in the off season? Do you sit inside and stay warm, or do you guys go out and do fun things in the cold, or what do you guys do?
We do sometimes the winter. I always said before the winters are always busier than the summers. I think I'm starting to think differently now, but but we got, like Kason, he's in hockey.
Okay.
And that's 3 nights a week. And Ellie's in gymnastics. I think that's 2 or 3 nights a week. And then, we it's rebuild season, so you're working on race car stuff and everything like that. We have 4 snowmobiles, like mid-90s Polarises, so we ride around the yards and stuff like that when we get enough snow, and God knows that doesn't happen until March.
Yeah, right.
So we do a lot of that, and then we hang out with friends and family, and you have all the holidays in there, and between Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that, which kind of just push you right through the new year, and then you kind of start thinking about racing again.
Start counting down towards May.
Well, then on top of that, so then you're probably, I don't know how many you do, but you're re-tinning other guys' cars for them too in that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I got about a handful lined up so far. Not to mention my stuff, going through all of my stuff as well. So yeah, it's going to be busy. It's always busy in the winter, and it just seems like it, you want to relax, but you maybe take the first week or 2 and relax a little bit. But man, there's so much to do. There's winterizing stuff, and then you got guys' cars and our stuff and holidays and kids stuff. I mean, it's busy.
A banquet, a rules meeting.
Yeah.
Banquet, yeah, all that.
Yeah. It's called life, my man. There we go.
That's the thing. You just don't get to go sit on the couch for the next 6 months. You gotta.
Yeah, you gotta wait till you're at
grind
least 60, like some guys
Yeah,
here.
right.
You know we're getting close to the end of the show, and these couple of questions come out. Cole, first off, I know you don't come show up at the racetrack with a full crew. Who helps you on any race night?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's my wife. You know, she I said this in Victory Lane last week, and I'll say it again. She had surgery. Well, it's 2 weeks ago today. Last week is about 8, 9, 10 days. And she was right there. She had laparoscopic surgery. She had 4 holes in her gut, and she was there working on the car. I mean, she's incredible, you know. And then I got my 2 kids. You know, they help a little bit, clean the car, you know, use up all the Windex that we got.
Oh, yeah,
so
yep.
I appreciate them doing that. And you know, my mom, she'll come time to time and help what she can. But I mean, realistically, without my wife and my 2 kids, racing honestly wouldn't be the same. I mean, I didn't have her for a whole weekend, and I appreciate my mom coming with. She was a lot of help, and you know, but honestly, it's just not the same without her there. So without her, it'd be a tough sport to do. So and then obviously, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, and then obviously, I'll thank all my sponsors. I gotta read them because I don't win enough.
That's all right. That's all right.
Joel Dewald Farms, Levi Babcock Construction, ASI Asplin Site Work Incorporated, R&H Landscape Supply, Performance Auto, Maverick Transport, Lines Electric, Ravinius Ranch, Metz Company. Grandpa does all my motors with Harlan Breesholden, Mars Race Cars, and CMD Race Shocks. So.
Wow. Derek says, Cole, we talked in your trailer before the start of the race Saturday and said your car had something special on the bottom. Congrats. Okay. All right. So what goes on tonight and tomorrow for you then?
So we raced a qualifier last night, and I was the 8th. So I finished 11th. Few guys opted out, so I was like the 8th guy. I turned it down. So we'll qualify again tonight, run heats and a feature, and then if we can't make it in the top, my goal is like top 4.
Okay.
I'd want to take a spot there because they start 3 wide, so even if I take 4th, I'm still starting about 10th. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, hopefully we get the car a little better, and got a few fast guys that took some spots last night, which might help a little bit. But you know, who weren't fast last night might be fast tonight. So
sure,
it's kind of how racing works. But that's the goal. That's the plan tonight. And if we can't make it through tonight, we'll run tomorrow, and then hopefully get in today or tomorrow in a decent spot. So.
Okay,
so is it the Challenge Series format still? Like, or are we done with time trials?
Done with time trials. It's just draw, and it's all passing points now based off draw. Then.
Okay, so that should tend to make things a little bit easier, right?
Yeah, it's I don't mind the time trial and stuff, but it does make the night a lot like fast pace and stuff. And with me and the wife, it's just you just seem like you're always doing something. You're always under the gun, and you know it's nice to just kind of be normal format. You're not under the gun with time trials, and I had to run everything last night: time trials, heat, B, feature. So it just makes the night long.
Yeah,
and busy.
All right, I got one final question for you, Cole, and then I'll leave it to you if you have one. But my final question is: in the last 5 days, could you imagine? Can you give me a guesstimate of how many hands you have shook in the last 5 days?
You know, the endless of the sport has been endless. I mean, I've had so many people. I mean, it's had to been upwards of 200 handshakes. I mean, the messages, the texts, the calls. I mean, it's really surreal to know that there's that much support out there. And you know, I appreciate every single one of them. It don't matter if it's a text, call, a handshake, you know, maybe a smile walking by, whatever it was. I mean, it's it's amazing to see the support, and I appreciate all of it.
So. A guy begging you to come on the Dirty Thursday show.
It was like I didn't shake his hand; I hugged him. So
yeah, well, I didn't make it down to the pits afterwards. I think I texted you the next morning and congratulated you and asked if you'd be able to come on the show. But have you got anything else, Stephen Lewis? I think we're going to get ready to wrap it up here.
No, I think that's about all I got. So
all right, you need to go take care of that neck, my man.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, Cole Schill, go get him. Boy, I tell you what, I know you're busy. You are there now at the 100, the Wissota 100 at I-94 Speedway in Fergus Falls. For you to take time off of your work and getting ready to race and all of that stuff, we thank you, man. Thank you 100 times over. And again, congratulations on winning that John Seitz. That's something that they can never take away from you, and that's something that guys like Stephen Lewis and myself, we're never going to forget. Again, congratulations and thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
All right, good luck tonight, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there we go. Man, that was fun. I can't wait to get him in the studio one day. There you go, Cole Schill on the show, and again, the winner of the 19th annual John Seitz Memorial. Now, what are your plans? Are you going down there tonight? Are you going? What are you doing?
I am going to take tonight off.
Okay.
And then I'll be here tomorrow night.
Okay, good.
Karts and Fergus on Saturday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we got all sprint cars on Friday night. That's going to be awesome. All right. Well, there we go. We're going to wrap things up. And again, thanks to Cole Schill for taking time off from his day. I know he's sitting in the motorhome. And we want to give a shout out to Rumors Sports Bar and Casino for bringing you today's show. They've been with us, and I say this every Thursday. They've been with us since day one. Gotta love them. BT, Scotty, Jake, the whole crew over there. What a great place. You can go in there, bet on the horses, play bingo, do a little charitable gaming. They're getting ready to play bingo right now. Wall-to-wall TVs. You want to go watch the Minnesota Vikings? You can do that. If you want to jump on a bus to go watch UND Sports, you can do that. You want to go to a great concert, jump on the bus, you can do that too. Great lunch and dinner specials with the $7 Express lunch. You want to have a party, they got room. Monday, DJ Trivia Night. Initials game every second Tuesday night. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Check it out for yourself. Rumors Sports Bar Casino, all right? Well, we are out of here again. Thanks to Stephen Lewis. Thanks to Cole Schill. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. That way you never miss a show. We absolutely love the Forks. Well, Grand Forks' best source is giving the Forks their identity back.
What? I can't hear you.
No, hold on.
Oh, there you go. I could hear you for a second, but I can't hear you now.